All right, here we go with the 5 habits that are ruining your memory. Number 1, not exercising your legs. Researchers from King's College London recruited nearly 400 twins ages 43 to 73 and tested different factors, including leg power and speed, and retested them 10 years later. The result, the researchers found that leg strength was a better predictor of brain health than any other lifestyle factor looked at in the study. Basically, the twin with more leg strength at the start of the study maintained their mental abilities and had fewer age-related brain changes than the twin with weaker legs. Squats, brisk walking, stair climbing. The experts agree that these are all exercises that will protect your memory and your brain function. I like something called the wall sit, which I do every day. It strengthens my quads and my glutes, but is easier on my legs. All right, the second habit that can ruin your memory: eating processed foods. According to Dr. Richard Isaacson, director of the Alzheimer's Prevention Clinic at Cornell University Medical College, every time we eat something that spikes glucose levels, like fast food and refined carbs, our hippocampus takes a hit, and that's a big deal because that's the area of the brain responsible for memory and spatial navigation. In his research on Alzheimer's and memory preservation, Dr. Isaacson insists that we eat cold water fish twice a week. Doing that, he says, is going to boost blood flow to our brain and reduce plaque buildup, top cause of Alzheimer's. Dr. Isaacson says we should swap out the processed foods for berries and says we should enjoy a square of dark chocolate every day. The researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital agree with this. They found that eating berries and dark chocolate on a regular basis significantly delayed cognitive decline in seniors. It all comes down to the flavonoids in both of these foods that keep brain cells functioning normally. All right, the next habit that can ruin your memory: not hanging out with younger people. This is according to Georgia State University psychology professor Dr. Vanetta Dotson, author of Keep Your Wits About You: The Science of Brain Maintenance as You Age. Dr. Dotson says, don't miss this, as we age, socializing with younger people who are mentally sharp provides a type of brain stimulation that helps boost our cognitive function, and that's especially true for people who are starting to experience some cognitive decline. But don't you know it doesn't happen very often, right? Because in our culture, people are often segregated by age. Older folks hang out with older folks. Young adults hang out with young adults. But in an analysis of 40 studies by Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, when the two generations interacted, young and old, the mental and physical health of the elderly improved. It even happens in mammals like rats, guinea pigs, and primates. The young pass pieces of their vitality onto the elderly, improving their cognitive abilities, their vascular health, even increasing their lifespan. It even happens with fruit flies. The presence of youthful, active fruit flies, it doubles the lifespan of the older flies. So, hang out with your grandkids. I do. Call a younger relative, volunteer to read to kids at your library. The brain science is clear on the cognitive value of doing any of these. I'm very fortunate. I get to hang out with my son Gib every day because we work together on the radio show, and his unique take on things opens up my mind, to say the least. Okay, the fourth habit that can ruin your memory: not reading enough books. Do you regularly lose your train of thought, search for your keys, and forget where you parked your car? The Beckman Institute for Advanced Science and Technology believes we can strengthen our memory by just reading more books. The researchers, they joined with local libraries to see if reading had the potential to improve people's memory skills, and randomly divided study subjects into reading or gaming groups. For example, the readers were given tablets preloaded with ebooks. The gamers got tablets preloaded with games, including word puzzles. And then all study participants were asked to engage with the books or puzzles for 5 days a week, 90 minutes at a time for 2 full months. Big study. The result: the book readers, they showed significant improvements in their working and episodic memory compared to the puzzlers, and that fits with research by education professor Marianne Wolf at UCLA. So in her own studies, Wolf found that reading books for just 20 minutes every morning and evening boosts our memory and even boosts our mood and helps us sleep. So I'm usually the first in my family up each morning, and I have a ritual where I sit with my coffee and I read on my Kindle for a half hour. Sometimes it's a history book, sometimes it's a book on personal development, and sometimes it's the Passion translation of the Bible, my favorite. I highly recommend this simple morning ritual. And the fifth habit that can ruin your memory: the midnight snack you ate last night. A UCLA study shows that our late night eating habits significantly reduces our learning and memory. For the study, researchers tracked two groups that ate the same amount of food and slept the same number of hours. The only difference was that one group ate during normal daylight hours, while the other group only ate late at night, when many of them would normally be asleep. The result: after just a few weeks, MRI scans revealed significant changes in the hippocampus of the late-night eaters. Again, the hippocampus is the brain area associated with learning and memory. And those changes, they translated to worse performance on memory tests compared to those who ate during the day. So listen to this. Neuroscientist Dr. Chris Colwell led the research. He says this study shows just how powerful our circadian rhythm is. Dr. Colwell says the people with the healthiest brains, they stick to the same schedule every day based on their natural body clock, because anytime we disrupt that natural cycle, like eating when our body expects to be sleeping, it upsets our hormones, similar to being in a state of jet lag, and that combination raises our risk for everything from weight gain and memory problems to even cancer. This tip has really spoken to me. I used to have this horrible habit of eating cereal before bed every night, even after I'd eaten a full dinner earlier. When I finally understood that it was messing with my sleep and adding inches to my waistline, I stopped immediately. Just something you and I need to think about before raiding the fridge for that midnight snack. So that's it. There you go. 5 bad habits that will ruin your memory. But I also have some bonus tips for improving your memory, starting with the power of owning a pet. Did you know our pets will improve our brain health? New research from the University of Michigan showing that whether it's a dog, a cat, a hamster, a goldfish, or a parrot, senior adults who own pets, they tend to have slower rates of cognitive decline. And those who've had pets for at least 5 years, they showed a cognitive score nearly twice as high as people who didn't own pets. The scientists believe it's because the companionship from pets, even fish in a tank, reduces loneliness and stress, which have been shown to reduce cognitive function. Plus, having something to take care of, it amplifies several mental processes that keep our minds sharp. I know the feeling. Other studies have found a link between pet ownership, low blood pressure, and a lower resting heart rate, all of which have been shown to boost overall brain health. So this is Leroy, our family dog. And not only does this terrier show us all extreme love, but he keeps me fit, chasing him down when he's chasing rabbits. And here's one more great brain tip. Research tells us that sleeping in this position will not only help your back feel better, it will reduce your risk of Alzheimer's disease. It's lie on your side, legs bent, with a pillow between your knees. Internist Dr. Holly Phillips says that position will alleviate strain on your back. And new research now shows it helps remove damaging proteins from your brain, the ones that accumulate and eventually contribute to the development of Alzheimer's disease. That's because lying on your side improves circulation to your head and neck and increases oxygen flow. Speaking of sleep, according to research from UC Berkeley, middle-aged adults who slept 6 hours or less a night, they were 30% more likely to develop dementia in their late 70s compared with people who got a solid 7 hours. Yes, an extra hour of sleep every night makes that big of a difference. It's because when we sleep, the brain goes into housekeeping mode, clearing away damaging plaques and proteins. Good stuff, right? Yeah. Every day, I continue to hunt down the latest research on maximizing your memory and improving your brain health, and it's been incredibly rewarding to test these tips on myself as I've developed our latest online course. Maximize Your Memory, it's called, and I know you're going to love it.